This is in the game on News Central TV. I am Udoka Njoku. I've still got Damiloju Sali right here in the studio. Now we're traveling from Lagos to Nigeria. Of course, this man brought his firepower to the National Sports Festival in Ogun State, where he became the golden boy. Now, US-based tennis star Christopher Bulus participated in his first ever National Sports Festival, and he made history right there, winning gold medals in the men's singles and doubles events, where he partnered Aleem Azeez. He and his partner, Ikechukwu, came short in the mixed doubles, losing only to Quadre and Ikechukwu Iloputa of Team Delta. Now, Christopher Bulus has demonstrated significant potential and achievement in the world of tennis, both nationally and internationally. Now, we have the star himself, Christopher Bulus, joining us all the way from New York, USA. Welcome to the show, Christopher. How is the weather over there?
Really warm right now because we just got over the winter season, so we're entering the summer. So it's been nice.
Right, nice weather over there, and of course we look forward. A lot of you guys over there. You always look forward to the summer because in Pidgin they say code 1 kilo now for that side.
I mean, it's true. We try to, even when I play, once it's winter time, I try to go down to Florida so I can get a lot of matches, get a lot of sun. Because it's different temperature when you play in the cold and when you play outside in the sun.
Right. Your journey as a US-based tennis star has brought you national recognition. Could you share some insights into your personal rise and the key moments that led to your success on the international circuit?
I started my tennis career in Nigeria. Before I left, I was nationally ranked also. I mean, not as high as I would want to. But then I decided to come to college in the United States in 2018, and I did go to a junior college first. I graduated, and then I went to a Division II school for like a year, and COVID happened, so I had an extra year of eligibility. So I found myself transferring to UNLV, which is in Las Vegas, and during those time period, I was also competing for the school. So that gave me a lot of exposure. I met a lot of people because I wasn't in one place. And I think one of the big part of my journey was when I went to UNLV, because I was able to meet a lot of professionals, high-level coaches, and I think that really shaped my tennis career. And that was the moment I decided, hey, why not go pro after that? And then I moved to New York to train at my academy here. So yeah, I mean that's I think being in college has really gave me the pathway or the strength to be like, okay, yeah, I think I can do it because I play with players that are already pro.
All right, so I've got Damiloju Sali right here, and he has a question for you.
It's good to have you on the show, Christopher. So Udoka and I were bantering when the show started about tennis players and our favorites. Did you have a particular player that was an inspiration or a mentor for you and made you really, really believe that tennis could be your sport?
I mean, I grew up in Lagos, so I do for sure have a national player that I always look up to. There were a couple, but in my club, there was this guy, there was Samuel. He's still playing now, he's coaching in Dubai, but when I was growing up, I was like, man, this guy plays so good, because in Africa, we used to have the ITF. It's called ITF Center, and a lot of players go there in South Africa to train. And he was one of those players. So he comes back home, really clean technique, just like Federer, I mean, for international level, I would say Federer. Obviously, everybody loves Federer, how he plays. But back home, when I was younger, I would look up to the guy. But right now, I'm really bummed because I wanted Yannick Sinner to win the Grand Slam.
All right, sad one, of course. I know a lot of us actually wanted Yannick Sinner to win that one because of his return to tennis. Yes, I'm one of them. I have to confess. I wanted Yannick Sinner to win because of the whole ban and him returning. And he has been keeping it really, really clean in the world of tennis. I was hoping that I was going to beat Carlos Alcaraz, but of course, Carlos Alcaraz is a different type of player when it comes to tennis. Yeah. But of course, considering your experience both in Nigeria and the US, what are your observations? You just returned, you played in the National Sports Festival. So what are your observations on the current state of tennis in the country, What do you believe are the biggest challenges hindering the development of players back home?
I think it's fair for me to say because I actually played in the States, I've played in Europe, and I also like played back home. This year I played like 2 tournaments in Nigeria, and I would say the level is good over there. I think it gets to a certain stage in the competition. Let's say I know for first round, second round, for me, they can match up my level. But when I get to like quarterfinals, semifinals, I think I have guys that are on the same Davis Cup as me. And I know that they can play because even when we hosted the Davis Cup in Nigeria last summer, our guys came out, we dominated. I think we actually qualified for Group 2. So playing against like high-ranked players. The biggest difference, I would say, is accessibility. I think when I'm here, I have access to a lot of tournaments. I can easily travel because, there's a lot of flights that I can pick from. Unlike, Nigeria, we have just very, limited access to, fast, tournament venue. We don't have a lot of competitions. But I think now we're starting to play a lot more, especially on the junior circuit. And the level, I think, it just need competition, but the players are good.
All right, let's talk about the training facilities now. Now, training to compete at a high level in tennis can be very, very expensive. From your perspective, what is the approximate cost of training for a Nigerian tennis player aiming for international success? And how does this financial burden impact aspiring talents? I know it's really, really tough.
Unless you're very rich, I think tennis is a very expensive sport. Just sports in general, Even for me, I'll be honest, like I didn't have the idea of going pro until my last year of college. I was able to find financial support from the academy here in New York. And I think that was one of the motivations to like, okay, I have this support. I think I can go pro. But again, when it comes down to the course, I think in a year, if you do a full season, I mean, you'll be looking at like $50,000 to $70,000 if you do the full season with training and everything. But I mean, you could improvise, which means like go to a certain place like Tunisia. They have like consecutive tournaments, so you could be there, and it will be a lot more cheaper. But it just depends on how much flexibility you have. But yeah, it's very expensive.
Very expensive. I like to stick to that now. Does this also mean that the poor who cannot afford tennis equipment cannot play, in as much as they have the talent? Because we talk about building from the grassroots. How many of these grassroots tournaments do we have? And how many of these kids are even being sponsored to be able to afford to get a tennis racket, tennis equipment to play with?
I mean, when I started to play tennis, actually, I started a summer camp. I also didn't have rackets, but when you come to the summer camp, there's provision for that right in Lagos. And right after the summer camp, if you're lucky, sometimes you can go with the racket. And that's just one support for you to be like, okay, I have a racket now. Now it's time for me to find a public court, to go and practice if you do love the sport. And I think for me, that's what I did. I think there's a lot of path in terms of like how player plays the sports. But for the less privileged, I think it has to do with a lot of support. The passion can be there, but this is where finance or supports play a big role. I know there's a Nigerian guy right now in New York doing some foundation, and he gathered like a lot of rackets to go gift to players back home. I think this is a step, this is how I started, and I know a lot of players can benefit from this kind of things. But again, it gets to a level where like the support is very important.
Right. Damiloju, I remember when I was way younger, my elder brother used to have a racket in their house. And to show you how expensive it was, he had to hang it somewhere in the house. Nobody touches it. If you touch it, you just might be in trouble. So I left it. It was a Wilson racket, if I remember clearly, and it was quite expensive for him to get it. But of course, the talent faded because too much Eba and Fufu.
I can completely understand that. He talked about, let's look at the lower band of what Christopher just said. $51,000 is over 80 million naira right now. So you need to not just be comfortable, you need to have a lot of talent, a lot of passion, and extreme financial backing to actively make tennis your career?
That's a really difficult one right there. But I would also like to put you on the spot, Christopher. Is there anything you plan on doing to give back to the society, to give back to where you started off from?
Okay, I think honestly, financially, it's not a right moment for me right now. But I think just for me to sacrifice my time, I've always come back the past 2-3 years playing for the country. And in as much as you know how it is in Nigeria with players like, oh, we don't get paid enough and this stuff like that. But I don't consider that. So in my little way, I think going back to represent the country, bringing the Nigerian tennis on a global stage, right. It's a way that it's like a motivation for the players that, oh, when you come here, you can also do it, or you can also come back and play for the country. And but financially, I think I tried my best with the players at my club, but nothing specifically not general for the population. But yeah, it is. It's just my little way of giving back.
All right, we know you definitely do that when the right time comes. But talking about the global stage, we hear that Nduka Odizo was the last Nigerian to compete at the Grand Slam level. Given the current landscape, what do you think it will take for another Nigerian player to reach a Grand Slam main draw? And realistically, when do you foresee that happening?
It's definitely a process. I think with tennis, it's like an individual sport. So you need to first of all be healthy. Second of all, you have to put in a lot of hours on the court and the time that you need to go play tournaments. So I think for me, it's a pathway. As at the end of the year, I got to a career high of 900. So and it's just been like a year of me graduating college to play. So I, give or take, I will have to, give myself maybe two years from now, because being a Nigerian, I don't get wild cards to play in any big event. So I have to start from scratch. Every tournament, I basically have to play from the very beginning, and I know what it takes for me to do that, and that was the sacrifice going in.
All right, well, we look forward to you getting to that level. And before I let you go, do you believe in nicknames?
I know some people have nicknames.
Do you have one?
I have a lot. Not none that I'm willing to to go on record to share right now, but yes.
Back in school, one of my friends used to call me Slick, and I was wondering why he called me Slick. And for Christopher, they call you Aremu. Do you want to tell us about that?
So I'm from Kaduna, right? But I grew up in Lagos, so I can speak Yoruba a little bit. And when I decided to play for Ogun State, everybody's like, we know this name is not a Yoruba name, so let's find something for you. So I was like, definitely, because when they were talking to me, I could literally understand the crowd. And yeah, they said Aremu will be really nice with me, and it's a name of a warrior or a chief. And I was like, yes, this is what I did. And that was the beginning of the tournament. And I kept that name till literally till the end. And even when I came back, everybody still texts me like, what's up, Aremu? And, I think it's going to sleep for a while.
So, yeah, I'd like to greet you that pattern. Baisi.
Bawa.
That's from a popular movie. And
okay. I'm just gonna allow you guys to have that because
well, we'll see. Maybe I'll not have to also unleash the kind of nicknames I had. Terrible nicknames, to be very, very honest with you. Aremu was not part of them at all.
No, that's why intentionally was not.
Great having you. The president of the Nigerian Tennis Federation, Engineer Ifedayo Akindoju, was of the opinion that tennis is growing in the country, and indeed, we believe that it is growing, especially what we saw at the National Sports Festival. We just hope that these talents will be able to be developed the proper way, especially from the grassroots, to help us get to that level where we believe that Nigeria can actually get in the world of tennis. But it is great to know that you are representing the country and keeping it real out there internationally and, of course, on the national level. We say thank you very much, Christopher Aremu Bulus, for your time joining the show.
I like that. Right. Thank you so much for having me.